Да. Но это так и получится, что будет лекция на самом деле. Так, давайте еще 30 секунд ждем, если кто-нибудь поднимется к нам. Нас смотрит онлайн большое количество людей.
People are following us online, and I'd like to introduce to you the head of the Department of Investment Support of the Competitive Policy of Moscow government, Vasiliy Kalinkin, and today we're going to discuss realization of property trading site through the single trading platform of the government of Moscow. Everything is being migrated online, and I also visited this platform, this portal. The usability and the convenience of this platform is on a high level, and if business wants to take part in this activity, they can use it with simplicity and with comfort. Good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for this, that you decided to attend this presentation. First and foremost, what are the electronic trading which we introduced in Moscow within the single trading platform of the government of Moscow? This is a new structure for us, which is quite acceptable in terms of the comfort which is provided to the users, and these old-fashioned tradings are also outdated. You saw these old movies, 12 chairs, when people make everything physically. They sit in the big hall, but now it can be done very easily online. You can sit home, and using your Wi-Fi connection, you can make purchases. The single trading platform of the government of Moscow was introduced in 2013 when we committed for a lot of objects, of sites, which could be presented in this on this platform. And for us, as a department of the competitive policy, for us it was very important to develop new services, which would be used not only for communication with the officials, but also to organize the feedback, to understand better what could be proposal from the business society to simplify the procedure which used to be before. It's not a secret that the procedure was quite complicated, not very clear in some points. We needed to gather a lot of documents, and our task was to simplify the situation, to make it more clear how to get the same service, the same result by 2 clicks. And in the same way, how to get an opportunity to sign a sales contract or a lease contract if you need to sign it after the trading. And today I can introduce to you the first slide. On this slide we have more than 4,000 sites taking part in our trading, and you can see them on our portal. This portal was created in 2010, continuously improved, and starting from the point we started to trade the whole property here, it started to be in line with all potential requests and needs of investors. The investor can come and look and see all the property sites here. If you can mention, there are 2 main areas, rent and sales of different real estate sites which we offer here at this platform. The rent includes also land plots to evaluate the potential development, to build capital sites, which is going to be the property of the investor afterwards. And during this trading procedure, the investor gets the development plan with all volumetric plans, and also the renting agreement side from the part of the city. The participant should only sign this contract and calculate the business plan, and also identify at what time he will be ready to invest. We give then 10 years for the development of the land, and after the site will be arranged as a property, the investor will decide whether to buy it out or to give it for the rent of 49 years on a beneficial conditions. This is a simple procedure which allows to develop not only the city infrastructure, because we place sites both for small and medium and big enterprises, and also for sole proprietors and individuals. The participants are absolutely not limited. It could be individuals and foreign constituents and foreign residents, and also our in-house organizations which are registered here in the Russian Federation. Here the openness is quite wide from the part of the city, and we invite all of you to take part and to develop the territory of our city, to develop our infrastructure. The second category of rent are non-residential areas, non-residential buildings. Every day we offer more than 300 sites which can be located at different levels of residential housing or non-residential. These are first floors, basements, attic floors, or business centers. There could be standalone buildings or attached buildings. The choice is quite wide, and the areas we offer from 10 to 5,000 square meters, depending on the location of the site and depending on the business they would be suitable for development. We should also note that there is another big category of objects which would be interesting for, first of all, small and medium enterprises. This is an opportunity to work with non-stationary objects that we propose for realization for different functionality. There could be some ice cream kiosk, bread kiosk, selling of our functionality, which we include as by the regulation of 29 of the. We'd like to note that this position, which is actively developed by the city, it is quite exclusive because the investor, if he or she decides to take a non-stationary object, he would just import goods, deliver goods, and start sales. The trading procedure is made in the following way. We hand over to the investor for 5 years a ready-made pavilion populated with necessary equipment depending on different functionality, for instance heating or air conditioning, fridges, if it's ice cream, everything which is needed to conduct the business, and 2 LED displays which would allow to make advertising and to display goods in the digital format. And from our side, we also provide an opportunity to connect to power sources around 5 kilowatt, opportunity to the nearest connection point. So the ready pavilion, after the trading procedure connected to electricity, allows the investor in the fixed place to trade with during the first 5 years until expiration of the contract on the rent contract for this site. For the development of this activity, we also provide the seasonal points, seasonal items for watermelons from August till end of September, and Christmas trees, bazaars in the end of December. So there are a lot of opportunities provided for small business, and here they can use not only non-residential sites and also non-stationary objects for the specific activity. The city is going for beneficial conditions of rent when the investor takes commissions itself for programmed positions, such as 3 programs which are active in the city. This is 1 ruble per square meter, which includes directly the preschool educational institutions, medical departments. This is the program Dr. close to you, and restoration of cultural heritage sites. For the period of restoration, the rent rate is fixed, and then we from the trading, and then after the trading we charge only 1 ruble per 1 square meter, and also 1 ruble per the square meter of the land. And of course the cost for restoration will be paid back when the owner, the renter, will pay only 1 ruble per square meter. This period of rent is 49 years, and that would be a good condition to start the business or to migrate it to on a different level. For instance, school institutions, kindergartens, which are inconvenient places. So these objects can be used beneficially. As for sales, here we have wider list. More than 3,000 sites are for sale. First of all, these are non-residential rooms and premises which are not for rent but also for sale. The same category so the latest trading which we had, 4 square meters on the first floor with a window for small business, a good option for small business to buy out and to organize some small trading point of sales. Also standalone buildings, kiosk and pavilion, and at different levels of non-residential buildings. This category for sales are sets of shares from 25% to 100% of a venture in these companies. But these are non-core assets which are realized as an opportunity of a new approach to potential investors, which would take a chance to change the functional purpose. The population by services of objects of sites will be traded, and an opportunity to lead business in a more comfortable way, because they would then calculate their steps for further investment and for further payback of investments.
So, for example, we have complexes which were built by the city and partially also sold as shareholders companies. They also have fitness centers and spa procedures which also are within these complexes, and also bath services. So that's a good beginning of business, because we have teams which work and there are tenants who can also work there. This is a good development and also investment into new vision. And investor takes this for himself. Despite the objects which are for sale, we also have a lot of things for sale which are interesting for individuals. So these are flats, apartments, and also car places. So these are not trades, but we cannot call these trades. These are family bearing places. Now, regarding garages, a lot of car places which were located in the city in accordance with different programs, investment contracts. For example, some part of these car lots were transferred from the city places, and now also these car lots are for sale. And citizens can have their cars not in the streets, but in these places. Prices can be different. It depends on location of this car lot. It can be a separate garage or underground parking, which is inbuilt in the residential building. It can be also cool garages as folk garages, and they are also open air. Sales of apartments are interesting for people. This is a possibility which can be, used in 3 directions within the framework of investment contracts. So this is first. Then Musos Garantia Group apartments and thirdly, the sites which are built, for the budget means. Then they are also for sold. So these are state enterprises. These are apartments already with repair works done in new buildings, and you can really choose these 2-3 room apartments, and prices from 5 to 12 million. It depends on a number of rooms in the apartment. So now we communicate not only on the principle B2B, but also during last 2 years we also use G2C principle for working also with individuals. And I can remind you that our main structure where we have our information, put our information, this is our United Information Portal, which allows you to know all directions of our activities which we have for sale. And this is on the single standard. We have trades only in accordance with one technology. We have 7 simple steps. And this method is appropriate for all activities which we have for sale. It can be auction when there can be only one price, or there can be contest. There are 2 parameters for defining a winner. Here we can also have experience of work, for example, and there can be also electronic trades. First, you need to have just electronic signature, which will replace your passport, and then you have to make certification. And then we are ready also to choose as the site for you, for people who make a decision, and give an opportunity to get familiar with documents, and also we can show these premises. We can consult whether it's possible to make this or that decision. So for us, it's very important to develop services which are possible for usage within the framework of our portal. And we are ready not only to supervise potential investors in his activities, in the process of choosing premises, but also we are ready to have a dialogue with this investor via his personal cabinet, which he can have on our site. And also an investor can have an application. In accordance with this application, we can choose a lot of parameters for him, and then we can send him an SMS. For example, this site is already for the sale, and it's participating in the trades. It's noteworthy that besides this portal, we can say that we have short information, for example, passport of objects, and we do not have all information about this site, but you can only can see one page, and on this one page there will be all information. This is very convenient. It's quite just a direct overview, and with the help of this overview you can see what site it is. We created a calendar of events. These can be roadshows, roundtables, or some seminars, maybe presentations at the forums. And here we offer discussion of a lot of issues. And also, so here there is a possibility to ask questions directly. And accordingly, this search system is very convenient in the portal, because here we have a filter, and with the help of this filter we can get rid of all not needed information, and then we can look at prices here in this portal. Investors can define also a number of square meters, and so on and so forth. The filtering system allows you in 1-2 clicks to shorten a list of sites from 500 to 10, for example, and then you will look through these 10 sites more attentively. Supervision is organized by a separate group of people. We call them personal managers. Each site which is located on our portal has the first phrase, the first wording, and so this first information is about a personal manager, his contacts, his name, and so on. If it's not enough to have online consultation over phone, a potential investor can always come directly to us. So we have 2 addresses, and there personal managers will help investors to choose any site. And also the services of a personal cabinet can allow investors to make an order, so everything can be done online. To the right, you can see a list of the services. A list of the services is only expanded. In the future, we will simplify this information, which is on our portal. That's in short what I wanted to say about our portal. And I can say that everything which can be seen on our portal, this is all open information. There can't be any hidden information, because the portal is a reflection of our internal database, and all our employees draw up a lot documentation. They have trading procedures, and then they work at the results of the trades. And this internal database reflects all our activities on an external portal. So all the sites which will have any different stages of this objects of the sites, you can see the statistics of these sites, prices, and so on, and what's happening to the site now. For us, once again, this is a wide transaction. All these sites don't have any, third parties obligation. If it's an apartment, if it's a premise, it's also free. All leasing relations are terminated. If it's ownership, if this is the state's ownership, and then so we can choose a winner of the trades. I can show you some examples which are on our site. This concerns also leasing of non-residential buildings on different floors and also some separate buildings. Also, we have such a category of separate premises. And this is the single site of real estate with a piece of land. You can see that you can use this for offices, for hotels, for restaurants, cultural activities, and so on. So here, activities which we offer are quite wide-ranging. If we speak about land, so besides trees and grass, you can see that you can build here any site, and you can imagine what you can build here. So you can build less, but you cannot build more. And this is defined by the parameters which are indicated in our plan. This is the height of building, and also some other parameters, square meters, and so on. So accordingly, here there is a program, 1 ruble for 1 square meter. Here you can see examples for kindergartens, for schools, and for the sites of cultural heritage. The sites for cultural heritage, a house close to small theater. The organization of good mini office can be here, or maybe a site of restaurant or trade. The site which is linked to any other activity which is interesting for investors. So that's in the central part of the city. And then you should protect, of course, the site. And leasing is 1 ruble per 1 square meter within 49 years. That's a very profitable proposal, but instead of a shabby building, we can get a new building afterwards, and that will be very nice looking.
Non-statutory objects, these are pavilions which are given to us. They could be also vending machines which are installed and do not need be attended by an operator. For example, the milk vending machine. We also have vending machine for snacks, for coffee, for other products which can be used automatically, and different other types of that. As a shares sales examples, we cite different indicators here, such as the pharmacies chain, more than 100 sites, and the pricing policy of the city as the 100% participant. It gives these to the further investors. Is it 5.5 billion rubles, the pricing policy? For example, we have Ocean joint venture, where we have around 60 million rubles interest. Different categories of selection of these sites are applicable, either to take them on for the new use with the retention of the pharmacy function, or to take 25% shares of Otis and to have fixed income from so having this and using these shares, and depending on the situation and the conditions of trades. Today we have many presentations. Just in a few minutes we will have another presentation in Melnikov Hall. These are 3 transportation hubs which we place for trading, and which are now in the trading procedure. And this is the examples of developing the infrastructure.
It also means a technological part and investment part. Investors will take this for developing, and all money will go for technological part. So here we have any premises, and also separate premises, garage, and different types of activities, so isolated buildings and parking lots, and also apartments for sale. They are in new buildings and also in some other regions. It can be state buildings or most guarantee organization. Please pay attention to our site. Look through the information which we have on the portal, and the portal investmoscow.ru. Our portal is also tender.ru, and here you can see all information there. You can get familiar with this information. You can look at all documents we have, and also you can look at the site which is and at the territory. Thank you very much. Can we ask a couple of questions? You go from G2B to G2C. Are there any programs on installments, for example, in Moscow City? Leasing, it means installment, but I mean when we buy something. Yes, when you buy something, you can have the first period of payment. You can conclude a contract from 10 to 15 days. Payment goes through within 5 working days, and then if you have some conditions that you can be late, so within 3 months you can have enough money and you can conclude the contract. So also transfer of real estate you can do only after full payment. We work in the Association of Banks of Russian Federation. We agreed with them, and for today we already started to conclude agreements. So we have payments, mortgage payments and direct payments. So now we can get money at once, but potential buyers can conclude agreements with the banks for the period of time when we can have agreements. So we should have, money to the budget within the period which is also inscribed in the law, federal law. One more question. Yesterday we had a very interesting session which was called City as Attraction for Citizens and for tourists. New villages which are being built, there can be some attraction sites for civilians, but citizens can buy something from this city or from that country, but maybe there is an idea that we can give priority to inhabitants of regions themselves if they buy something else in this region. We work with the sites which were already made, which were already formed by the owner. And this can be a Department of Property of Moscow City. We define all this, and the committee defines this. All sites are going through independent estimation. We define its market value on the basis of documents. We can form documents, a list of documents. We use a single standard without any benefits. And benefits can appear within this framework of this federal law. But at present, we have some benefits for non-stationary sites. This is Trade Department, and participants of these procedures for disability person, the second group, so they can participate in these tenders, and the same situation can happen for different sites. But for tenders, during the tenders, we use single rules for everybody. There are no any benefits. Site investmoscow.ru. Please come to the site and look through this information. Thank you very much.